Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. We're going to be playing some more Fire Emblem Awakening, Lunatic Plus today, of course, as usual. The first thing I want to do, so today we're doing chapter 19, which is honestly, I find this chapter interesting because many people consider this to be one of the hardest chapters in the game, but in my opinion, it is one of those special types of chapters that seems very hard, but if you know what to do, it's actually extremely easy. So I want to show off a couple of different things. I'm not just going to clear the map one time, because I've already cleared it multiple times during the week, and I've already got this up to, very consistent strategies. So I want to show off a couple of different things all in one stream, so that it's not just like, me spending 10 minutes beating the chapter one time. So first of all, I do want to talk about a couple of things, though. So one thing is Walhart himself is pretty interesting. He always gets the same skills, Aegis Plus, Pavis Plus, Luna Plus. So there's no possible way for him to get counter, which is really good, because if he got countered, he could be a problem. Yes, we did use the Long Ku lethality opener before. I don't know if I'm going to show that off again. I mean, I'll show it if people want me to. What I do want to show you guys first, though, is the strategy that I'm going to be using for the boss kill. So let's do that first. Hello, Funisgus. Hello, Tricky, and hello, Flying Rope. Welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today, and a fantastic morning, and a great day, and a wonderful day. So, I'm going to be using Saria for the boss kill. It's a lot more consistent than relying on, Long Ku's small chance of getting a lethality proc, especially because we're going to be doing it on turn 4. And turn 4 is a lot harder. It's kind of interesting because the quicker you beat this map, I think, the easier it is. Whereas every extra turn that you want to stay on the map without killing a Walhart increases the difficulty. So it's kind of interesting in that way, because on turn 4, enemy phase, there are going to be enemies that are going to start spawning from these forts, and they will very quickly overwhelm you unless you have a fantastic strategy, which I'm going to talk about later when we get there, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. For now, let's just show off what we're trying to do. So I definitely want to rally skill here. We want the highest possible chance to get skill procs. We want the highest possible chance to get critical hits. Now, later on when we do this, we're going to intentionally have Saria take damage so that she can potentially get Vengeance, which I think I can actually set this up. It's actually harder to set this up on turn 1, but I think it should be possible if I just use Noe for this. So let me grab Libra, and then I'm going to have him pull Lisa as far forward as possible. In fact, hold on a second. He has a range of 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I do rally move, I might be able to do this with just Libra. Do I have any other useful rallies? I could get Rally Magic. Because I think this will work. And now I'm not so sure. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually not far enough. I need to use Lisa here. I should have used Lisa first. That's okay. I'll pull Lisa forward. This is not super planned out because this is not the strategy I'm going to be using to clear the map. I just wanted to show you guys how you can kill Walhart on turn 1 for those who wish to do so. When we actually do it, I'd like to try to do Rally Magic if possible, but you can do it without it. Okay, so what I'd like to do is, can I fight this guy? Yeah. What you really want to find is an enemy who has Hawkeye and who does not have counter. I don't see any guys who fit the condition, so what I'm actually just going to do is maybe I can let this guy hit me. What will I take here? I'll take 30 damage. I can't allow myself to take 30. I would have to do Katarina's Bolt here. I take 36 or 48. Problem is, if I crit him, I don't take any damage. I need to actually not crit. Ugh. Yeah, trying to set this up on turn 1 is a lot harder than having it set up later in the battle. Okay, well, what's my lowest crit chance that allows me to one-round him? It actually doesn't exist. If I one-round him, I also have a high crit chance. Alright, well, let's just do it anyway. I mean, there's no reason not to do it. So ideally, we actually want to not crit here so that we take damage. We want to deal 36 damage to ourselves. Oh, okay, whatever. It's fine. So this looks similar to what we're going to be doing later, but we're going to do it in such a way that allows Sari to actually take damage. Then we're going to go like this. We're going to dance for her. We're going to use Lisa. We're just going to pull her over here. It doesn't really matter where. Anywhere within reasonable range. Then she's going to run up here. We're going to have a Alms Blade equipped. Has a decent crit chance. Then we're going to be using Celica's Gale. This is going to give us 4 chances to crit, 4 chances to dual strike, 4 chances to crit on dual strikes, and also 4 chances to proc Vengeance, although unfortunately, because we didn't get our Vengeance set up, Vengeance procs are not going to matter here. They will matter later when we actually do the boss kill. So this is an idea of what we're going to be doing later. It's going to be a lot more consistent later on. Tricky is asking if Vengeance rounds up or down. I'm actually not sure. I've never really calced it before. I've never done like extensive testing on Vengeance. I just know it adds like a ton of damage and it's usually enough, so I don't bother like testing it. Maybe we should do that at some point later. Alright, so we really want crits here. That's a good crit right there. This should be 30 damage, I think. 45, even better. Yeah, so this Vengeance proc right here would have secured the kill on its own right there. If we'd set up the extra damage. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to mention, as you guys are probably noticing, I found a solution that helps fix the lag during the combat animations. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was before. So if you do this, you can kill Walhart on turn 1. If you're struggling with this chapter, that's one way to do it. Personally speaking, I don't like beating this chapter on turn 1. The reason is because you're leaving a lot of experience and a lot of loot on the table. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to fight for... You can either do a 3-turn clear or a 4-turn clear, and I'm going to talk about kind of what the advantages and disadvantages of each one are. Let's get back into the chapter. This also should reset my positioning. Yes, okay. So Saria is back over here now. Let me get caught up on chat. Jerbear is saying it's one of your least favorite maps in the entire game. It feels like you're completely forced to one-turn it. No, definitely not. I will show you right now the more comprehensive strategy. I do think on Lunatic Plus, you probably need to beat this map on turn 4. I think the ambush spawns, the chance for you to basically have 4 enemies coming out of these forts every turn, and all 4 of them can have counter, just makes it impossible to do anything past a turn 4 clear. But on every difficulty mode, including Lunatic Plus mode, you can do a 4-turn clear of this chapter. And then on Lunatic and below, you can stand here and fight the reinforcement waves. It's actually not as hard as it sounds. It's just kind of tedious. But if you block these 4 forts or these 4 forts, the ambush spawns, the reinforcement order of this chapter is extremely well documented. You will know exactly what is coming out of this fort, here and here, and you can just put units in these 2 spots accordingly to intercept whatever's coming out of here. Anyway, on turn 3, enemy phase, all of these units up here start moving, and you can fight them on turn 3, and then also set up your kill against Walhart. On turn 4 enemy phase, enemies start coming out of these forts, And so as a result, you can't really stay on this map on turn 4 enemy phase. Otherwise, you will, on Lunatic Plus anyway. Otherwise, you will almost definitely lose some units. You'd also have to kind of you'd have to like find a way to clear the entire rest of the map before turn 4 as well, even to just be able to set up and capture these forts on turn 4, which is pretty tough to do. Hey Spin, welcome to the stream. You didn't know Walhart's hair was that long. Is it very long? Let's check him out. I don't know, I can't really see it. He's moving around, but I can't really see it. He's not bald, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, he does have long hair. It's streaming around to the sides. Huh. Hey Poochivert, you beat Lunatic Plus. Congratulations. Good luck on Chapter 19. Thank you. I actually beat it a couple times earlier this week already, so I feel pretty confident. Hello Aid, you've done on a 4-turn clear as well? Yeah, the 4-turn clear is not that bad. So let's go ahead and do the 4-turn clear now. So, what I like to do is, first I start by pairing up. Let me just check something really quick. Yeah. First I start by pairing up my units. Unfortunately, Sumia is kind of tricky because she has to pair up with Crom, which kind of limits both of their mobility. I start by pairing up my units with the characters that I want them to be paired up with. That way I don't make any mistakes later. You kind of want to get everybody in the center. I like to have Olivia here, because I can use her to dance for Lonku later, which is going to be important. Lonku is quite good. If these characters here don't have counter, which it seems like actually neither one of them do, what you can do is you can set up a situation where Lonku kills one of these enemies, and then you can switch him to hold a superior edge, and he will essentially have a almost 100. He'll have like a 99.9 chance of dodging the attack from either of these guys, although they do have Hawkeye, so he won't be able to dodge. But if he uses his bow, we can set something up. Yeah, against this guy here. Alright, so we'll do it that way then. Is there anything else I can set up while I'm here? Yeah, I can actually do this. I want to get the most mileage out of Lonku that I can. So let's do this. Noe with the Beast Killer is going to be crucial on this chapter. It essentially just allows Lonku to kill anything that he wants to on the map, because he's always baiting in those Beast Killer dual strikes. He has the chance of lethality, he has the chance to crit, he has the chance to bait in Beast Killer dual strikes. He just has so many chances to just run wild on this map. It's so fun. I love how strong the Lonku Noe pair is on this map. Or, I mean, you could basically put other characters into the same classes. Just any kind of, like, I mean, Assassin's good, Warrior would be good, anything that has like a bow option and a melee option, and then pair them up with a class that can use the Beast Killer, can essentially do what Lonku is doing here. So this one, we're a little bit less likely to take him out, but even if we don't, the good thing is, if these enemies get left alive on low health, we can have either Cynthia or Lucina run up and finish them off, and then proc Galeforce. So there's very little that you're losing out on. Okay, I would like to do this. That's 20 damage. It's not going to be enough. The tricky part is these guys are very bulky. If we get all of our crits and all of our dual strikes, this guy still survives on 1 HP. Or sorry, if we get all of our dual strikes, this guy survives on 1 HP. So we'd basically be banking on the fact that we want to land at least 1 crit. I can do this instead. But then the problem is this guy probably runs up and attacks Sari instead of Lonku anyway. Yeah. Another thing I like to do actually is put Sari over here if she can survive. Fortunately, if too many of them spawn with counter, that's actually pretty tough. Like this one spawning with counter is really bad. Loop counter and Luna is extremely bad. I can put her here. Do I want to use a hammer for this? I don't think so. I actually want to get the most healing from Nosferatu that I can. Alright. Let's do this instead. We can get a Beast Killer shot here. This will allow us to proc Galeforce. I'm going to trade the Superior Edge back into Lonku's inventory so that he can fight the other Paladin on enemy phase. Excuse me. Now, as long as we get one dual strike, this should be fine. This is 9 damage versus 12 damage. Honestly, I'm not going to use the glass bow for anything else. I might as well just use it here. The dual strike. That procs Galeforce. This allows Lucina and Cynthia to reposition. And what's really good about this is that they can run over here and they can actually just rescue Olivia. I'll try to get them one more kill if possible. This guy's counter, that's not going to work. This guy's counter, that's not going to work. Okay. Unfortunately, when these guys have counter, it's pretty tough to set up dual strikes against them. Or sorry, set up just any kind of kill against them, really. Alright, so we're going to go like this. Let me move these two out of the way first. I have to make sure I have enough actions to kill these two. It's actually kind of really frustrating because of them both having counter. Because normally what I would do is I would run up and I would hit one of them with the Beast Killer. I mean, technically I can kill this guy, right? 36 plus 18 is 54. We survive on 2. If we crit, we kill him outright. If he misses, we take a little bit less. If Grom dual strikes, I don't think it matters. I can check. No, he is not doing enough damage. Alright, let's just do this then. I'd love a crit here. It's not very likely. Dodge would have been nice too. Also didn't get that. It is what it is. Okay. Given the health situation... it might be a good idea to do this. You kind of have to adapt based on what's happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Steel Lance. I'm going to use the Recover Staff here. The Recover Staff is really good on these like I've talked before about utility staff users, how you can switch characters over to a staff using class and they instantly become useful. Now granted, you do need to reach B rank staff to be able to use Recover, but she doesn't have Heal Touch, she has a very low magic stat, so her heal and her mend don't heal for very much, but she can use Recover to get full healing on an ally, and she also gets a lot of experience for using it. We will have to use someone else to warp Olivia, so we'll keep that in mind. Now, if this guy runs over and attacks Cynthia, she'll be completely fine. We just have to make sure that we can get rid of this guy right here. To do that, I'm very strongly considering... Whoever I use, I'm going to have to rescue them back anyway. So I might as well just repeat exactly what I just did. Yeah. The crit helps a lot. Okay, now we can go... rescue you back. I feel that Saria is in a little bit of danger. Unfortunately, there's not a lot I can do about that right now. We also have to body block this guy so that he can't get to Saria. Good thing I reminded myself. I've done this once before in a previous attempt. So what I want to do is set these two here. Do I have anything that's effective against him? I don't. So I'm just going to use... I'm just going to use a Killing Edge here. And this also allows me to rally skill, which kind of helps a little bit. Not really that much. I'm not going to rally magic because she already has enough damage to kill. And if I rally magic, it's just going to cause her to deal more counter damage to herself. What I'll do instead is rescue Olivia. Then we're going to move Henry closer to Lisa. Henry and Lisa are going to be very valuable on the next couple of turns when I'm clearing out all these generals. Anna has nothing to do this turn, so I'm just going to move her close to the center so that I can move her wherever needed on the next turn. He has Infinity plus 10 accuracy, says Snow Warning. Welcome to the stream, Snow Warning. Welcome to the stream. Duke Nuka-Cola. Yeah, I actually want to talk about that. The enemies on this map, they're all guaranteed to... Well, not all of them, but there are specific enemies on this map that are guaranteed to roll hit rate plus 10. So what's really funny, this is another one of those, you know, weird quirks about Lunatic Plus, is when they roll Hawkeye, it basically just kind of obsoletes their hit plus 10 skill. So it's just one of those things where, like, random Lunatic Plus skill distribution sometimes has anti-synergy with itself. It's probably the best way to say what I want to say. Okay, so what should happen is these two generals, this one here and this one here, they might kill Saria. If that happens, we'll just restart the chapter. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I don't feel like doing the calcs to see if she's guaranteed to survive, but she definitely has a chance to survive based on, like, dual guards, crits, exactly how much damage the enemy does, if she can dodge their attack, how much healing she gets from Nosferatu, etc., etc. Alright. This guy is going to run over and attack Cynthia. And then this one, we really want to attack Lonku, but I have a feeling he's going to attack Noir. It is what it is. This is the tough one. Okay, that dual guard helps a lot. That's going to allow us to heal back up to full. That makes it so the other guy doesn't have a chance of killing us. I believe the other guy does 16, yeah. Now we heal back up, and we are good to go. That clears up some of the space on the right-hand side, which is going to give us a position to stand on the next turn. You want to clear out either the bottom left or the bottom right corner on this first turn if you can. That way, on this turn, all we need to do is clear out these enemies here, and we'll technically have safe space, well, and this guy here too. If we can clear out these 5 enemies, we'll technically have safe space to stand on the next turn. So you're kind of always buying yourself like one extra turn, one extra, you know, area of positioning. I would love it for Lonku to bait in a dual strike here. Fortunately, I didn't give her the hammer. How much does she deal with the silver axe? 29. It's not a lot. I mean, it's not a small amount, but it's not a lot. We have a really high crit chance here, though. This is fine. I'm going to be dancing for him anyway. So if he fails this kill, again, if he fails this kill, the one really good thing about Cynthia and Lucina right now is they finally got to the level where they can reliably finish off weakened enemies. And this means, like, if Lonku ever fails to kill something, if Lisa ever fails to kill something, if Noir or Severa ever fail to kill something, we can just have Cynthia or Lucina run over, pick up the kill, trigger Galeforce, and then they just get an extra action anyway. So we're going to go for Silver Axe with Killer Bow here. We want crits, we want dual strikes. Didn't get it, got it. Now we can dance for him and then have him potentially kill or at least weaken one additional enemy. I'll probably use you to leapfrog one of the other units across the map. Because they have a difficult time reaching anyone else, it's probably a good idea to go like this. Now, unfortunately, we would have to use the Beast Killer here. Can we use... Yeah, we can use Lucina for this. We can actually use Cynthia's Flight to get onto the forest tile, which then allows us to use Lucina to attack with the bow. Yes, this is guaranteed to kill. The dual strike is just generating free experience out of thin air. Now this will allow Cynthia to attack, although unfortunately I kind of want Cynthia to be in the rear position. Alright, let's see about this pair. This counter, of course he does. I don't think we can actually kill this one like we did with the previous ones. Alright, let's get Lisa over here. We have to get her involved. She is very good at this. Unfortunately, I would like to injure without killing this guy. Is that possible? Not in a way that really benefits me. Alright, I'll just kill him then. It's kind of tricky though, because I need Sumia to put in some work over here on this side. Maybe I can do it without her. Neither of these two have counter, so if we go like this with Nosferatu, we can use Saria to either weaken or remove this guy. I do want... I'm pretty sure I want an axe, right? Yeah. I want my silver axe here. I don't even have to use Nosferatu either. I can actually use Ruin. You can buy more Ruin Tones after this chapter. I'm actually going to use Flux. Yeah. And then I can just use someone else to trade her over to Nosferatu. In fact, I can send the Flux Tone back now. Is that fine? No, I'll use a trade manipulation for it. Alright. Well, you can pick up this kill. This also gives her a round of combat with Henry. This is important. This guarantees they get at least +1 support at the end of the chapter. If we can get them to fight together 3 or 4 times, it'll be even better, but you never know. Let's soften this guy up using these units. Is this worth killing edge charges? I can actually use the hammer to pick up this, just like pick up this kill outright. Is that worth it though? I have plenty of actions available. I'd rather just grind my axe rank with this, using the steel axe. Oh wow, I do not deal anywhere near as much as I thought I did. Okay, hold on. New plan. We'll use the hammer. Alright. We want to get at least 1 dual strike here. Got it. Okay, that's actually perfect. Now we can use... I really want to get... Okay, she can actually reach. This is good. We can use Elthunder here. We can even just use Elwind. Perfect. Love it. Okay. Now we can actually set up units on this side. What turn is it? It is turn 2. Okay. This guy technically, I think, doesn't start moving until turn 3, but I could actually use this to my advantage and bait him out and fight him with Lucina, or even with Crom. Long Ku, in fact. What am I thinking? Yeah, use Long Ku for this. The only reason I wouldn't use Long Ku there is if I was going to use Long Ku over here, but what I can do is I can set up other units at the edge of this range. So let's do that instead. Alright, so we'll use Long Ku here. I don't need to kill him, I just need to engage him and potentially, like, weaken him enough. What weapon does he have again? Silver bow, okay. That's fine. We can just use our, I mean, Beast Killer would be nice, but they're expensive. I'm just gonna use the Silver Axe and Steel Bow here. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, we actually don't need to use any Rescue Staves. It's pretty clutch. Who has a Physic? You have a Physic, okay. Keeping the health of your units high on this chapter is kind of tricky, so I want to heal whenever possible. Don't let me forget to trade her so that she's holding Nosferatu. In fact, I'll do that now. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah, we can do it this way. Nosferatu, rally skill. Okay. So, technically we can set up Sumia to fight one of these enemies on the left side. Last time, on my last successful turn 4 clear, I had I had one person standing here to fight this guy, and one person standing up here to fight this guy. I just don't have that many actions available this time, so I'll just fight the one that's better for me. Which is probably going to be... I mean, the Tomahawk is better. Can I get over there? Yes, I can. So we'll just do this. Alright. Should be fine. Dual guard doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, definitely. It helps, because it preserves Sumia's HP for the next turn. But it was not mandatory for survival. Oh, perfect Nosferatu healing. Now we should get another kill here. Beautifully done. Okay, now this turn, we want to hopefully set up a situation where we either have a really, like, deliberate Nosferatu sweep where we end the turn on low health, or we want to find a situation where we fight one time without using Nosferatu to potentially lower our HP. So right now, we're setting up for a turn 4 kill with Saria, so we want to start lowering her HP now, because if we can get dual strikes, crits, and vengeance procs, that just gives us a much higher chance of killing Walhart. Although we've just seen at the start of the stream, I showed you guys you can do it without vengeance, but getting vengeance makes it more consistent, more likely. How viable are forged flux tomes? Yeah, extremely viable, for the exact reasons you said. It's very cheap, and it has a ton of uses. The cost of forging a weapon is based on the original price of the item, and because flux is very cheap for what it does, that also means it's extremely cheap to forge, and then because it has 45 charges, you get way more use out of each charge, so it's unbelievably efficient. It's one of the best tomes to forge. I have a forged flux tome in Henry's inventory right now. Yeah. This is the one I forged. Excuse me. This is the one I forged at the very start of the game playthrough, if I'm not mistaken, and I still have 17 charges on it. Snow warning. Oh, hey, hey Charmander, thanks for stopping by today. I did not see your message right away. Sorry about that. Snow warning says it's not necessary it is necessary gameplay-wise, but it's disappointing that Walhart is all the way in the back, even though he was fighting at the very front when we see him in the cutscenes. Yeah, he seems more like the type who would lead from the front. Hey Delta Brainwave, welcome to the stream. Did I grind in this run? No, I did not. This is a no grind. I'm showing that you can beat Lunatic Plus, playing the game like a normal game. You don't have to do, like, just, you know, Robin and Chrom together, fighting everything with Vengeance, Nosferatu, sweeping every enemy. You can just play the game like an actual Fire Emblem game. You don't have to grind. I'm not even using spot pass teams. That you could, like, a lot of people, when they do Lunatic Plus mode, they use spot pass teams to buy, like, really overpowered weapons and stuff. I'm not even doing that. I'm just using the resources that the game gave me, and I'm showing that you can play this game mode like an actual Fire Emblem game. And it's actually very fun. It's actually extremely fun to do so. I'm going to grab this silver sword right now if I can with Lonku. I actually had trouble getting it on my other playthrough, if I'm not mistaken. It was either that silver sword or... yeah, it was the silver sword. Okay. I'm going to grab that silver sword right now if I can. So the way I would do that is by using the Beast Killer. I'm going to go for crits, I'm going to go for lethality. In fact, I'll use the Killer Bow. Yeah, I'm going to go for crits, I'm going to go for lethality, I'm going to go for Beast Killer dual strikes. Did not get anything, wow. Okay, well, that's what the rescue staff's for. We can kill him next turn. In fact, we can even potentially... how much damage am I doing? 47. Yeah, like 20 damage. Ugh, this is gross. This does not feel good. I'm probably going to use this Forged Beast Killer. That way I only need one dual strike. If Lonku had gotten his luck there that he was absolutely supposed to get, I feel we were extremely likely to get at least either one crit or one dual strike there, but we didn't get anything, so... I'm going to use the Forged Beast Killer here. There you go. This also procs Galeforce, so we don't need to use a rescue staff to get this team out of there. They can just get themselves back out. We could even potentially run back over here. Let me see what targets this square. I think it's just this guy. Yeah, it's just this guy. Okay, so what we can do is actually... we can have her end her turn here. This time I will switch back to the Steel Lance. I'll go like this. I have to be careful though because this is removing one of my rescue staffs from play. And I'm also giving up Cynthia's action. But you kind of have to do that a lot with her. Just because she's typically dual striking for Lucina here. Okay. So I do need to rescue Lonku at some point, but I have plenty of actions available for that. Let me see... What is the most consistent kill for Sumia? It's probably this guy, which is good because I want this silver bow anyway. Is there anything over here I can grab? What if I take out this guy, trigger Galeforce, take out or injure this guy, and then rescue Sumia? I probably want to stand here. Because I have a guaranteed kill on this guy anyway. Beautiful. Oh god, I hate when they survive on 1 HP. And I end up wasting an extra beast killer charge. Now I go over here, I do the same thing. I take this guy out. We will counter damage ourselves for 41, that's fine. Wasting a lot of beast killer charges though. Okay. Don't have as much real estate on the left side as I would like. I have 3 rescue stabs. Technically, this pair could run out and do something, but I don't see any action that they have available. I want to set up someone to fight this guy, but he has counter, which is actually fine. So we can do something we haven't done since the start of the run. You guys might remember this. Very early on in the run, when Sumia had a very low strength score, we used to do this thing where Sumia would attack enemies and hit them for 0 damage, and bait in dual strikes from Crom. We're going to be doing the same thing with Noir and Severa here. So we're going to use the hammer, which is effective damage against this guy. Noir is going to have a bronze sword equipped. You're going to have the hammer equipped. So what's going to happen is this guy's going to run over. He's going to attack them. Noir's going to hit him for 0 damage. So the fact that he has counter doesn't matter. She can't deal any counter damage to herself if she deals 0 damage. And then she's going to be baiting in dual strikes with the hammer to potentially kill this guy. To set up kills on this guy. So the only thing I need to do now is pull my team back to safety. And put Saria in a position where she can hopefully... Yeah, it's actually going to be tricky. Who would she even fight? There's actually no enemy who has... there's no space she can stand in and fight just one enemy. Is she a more appealing target? She might be. I'll put her here just in case this guy wants to attack her. I'm gonna use the Flux Tome. I do not want to heal. I want to be left on low health if possible. We're gonna pull Lonku back. Crazy thing is, we actually still have Olivia available too. Okay, this should be fine. I don't see any issues with this positioning. I should have put her next. I should have put her in that middle square though. That was a mistake. I put her in the wrong square. Okay, so we hit for 0. Hit for 0. Okay, we baited in that hammer dual strike. That's going to be huge. That's going to let us secure a kill on him next turn. Ah, they went for Lucina. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to have to do kind of something similar to what we did on turn 1, where we try to set up Vengeance by finding an enemy who has Hawkeye and who does not have counter, which is actually exactly this guy. It's even better if they have Vantage, though. Hawkeye Vantage would be perfect. Hawkeye Vantage. Okay, this guy's Hawkeye Vantage. We can use him to our advantage. What we can do is we can have... Nope, we can't. Because we can't reach. Yes, we can, because we're going to be using Rally Move anyway. So, Rally Move... Well, can I get a Galeforce kill first? Probably... We have some guaranteed kills. Are there any good items to pick up? This seems crazy, like anybody who tuned into the stream right now and doesn't know what I'm trying to do, if you look at this screen, this looks like a game over. Like, this looks like, how would you think that this is not a game over? But I guarantee you we are about to win. This is turn 4. On this turn, ambush spawns are going to come out of all of these forts on the map, and they're going to overwhelm our units. But before that can happen, we're going to kill Walhart by the end of this turn. And we're going to get as much experience as possible before we do that. Okay, this is a little tricky, but I think we can guarantee this kill. Can we do it with the Steel Lance? 54. I mean, not exactly, but it's pretty much guaranteed. I've wasted a lot of Beast Killer charges already. This is definitely the more risky play, but I'm gonna go for it. Okay, we got it. Now I just need to make sure I rally move from a square that hits Saria, which is 1, 2, 3 here. Now she should be able... No, she still can't reach because of forest tiles. Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna have to rely on one of the guys who does not have Vantage, which kind of sucks, because if we crit... Well, we can do this. We could use Counter. In fact, Counter is more reliable. We can hit ourselves for 30 damage here. Well, it's the same problem. If we crit... Yeah, if we crit, then we just... If we crit, then we don't deal any damage to ourselves. But, I mean, it's you either do it or you don't, so... We might as well just go for it. Nice. Didn't deal as much as I would have liked, but she took some damage. So let's actually calc this because someone was asking about Vengeance earlier. We'll do it at the end of the turn before we actually go fight Walhart. But I'm gonna calc exactly how much damage we should be getting from Vengeance, and that will help us figure out some specific things like, does Vengeance get rounded down from Aegis Plus? I think it does. Someone told me on Reddit that it does. I always thought that it didn't, but someone on a Reddit post we were talking about it, and they said that it does. So I wanted to check that and confirm it for myself. We might as well do that now. We can also see if it rounds down or if it rounds up, potentially, if we get into that situation. Okay. Since there's nothing else that has an item, what we just want to do now is just go for guaranteed kills, so we get as much experience as possible. It's actually not a guaranteed kill. That's actually not either. So we're gonna need a dual strike no matter what we do here anyway. Let me see how much damage Sebra can do, because it's probably not a lot. 10, 11, 7, 50. So we'd actually have to use the wolf bow here to guarantee a kill on just one dual strike. Alright, let's just go all out. Nice. I actually should have rallied skill for Saria. It makes a pretty big difference. I can have Lucina do it in the worst case scenario. Let me see if I can pick up this kill. Probably not. I'm trying to think who can Cynthia and Lucina kill reliably. $12 damage, 36 damage. And how much are you hitting for? Not a lot. We don't have a lot of guaranteed kills here. We can actually... Okay, hold on a second. We can just do this. Yeah, this works. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. Because he has... Aegis Plus. Alright, what about this? He does not have Aegis Plus, but I can't actually kill him. I would need a dual strike. The problem is I want to do this in a way that allows my characters to rally skill for Saria at the end, which is the tricky part. This guy having counter is a problem. I'm just trying to find a kill. Just let me find a kill, please. Maybe here. Yeah, this is guaranteed. This breaks my Forged Beast Killer, which I don't love. Technically, if I proc Aether here, I think I saved my Forged Beast Killer. Didn't happen. Okay, so next we're going to just want Lucina to pick up this kill. Then she's going to rally skill. This is going to give us a higher chance to land crits and a higher chance to proc Vengeance. Now what we need to do is... we should be able to get away with this. In fact, what is Anna's rescue range? Not that high, actually. Okay, we're probably not going to allow... well... yeah, hold on. Don't forget you have to actually dance for this pair. That also gives them +4 skill, I think? No, +2 strength, magic, defense, and resistance. Okay, so the +2 magic kind of helps. Alright, so... where is Lonku most likely to get a kill? I would assume against this guy. He's the least defensively solid. Technically, we could use a Beast Killer here, but I don't think we need to. Probably get it done with an Iron Lance, even. Nice dodge. 69. Okay. Yes, so we're gonna have to get away with this. This should be fine. Let me do Anna first. Hold on. Her range is 9. His range is 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if he's here, he can still grab Lisa. Okay, so we'll pull him forward first then. This will allow us to pull Lisa as far forward as possible, which I hope is far enough. That's not quite. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. I don't think we're going to be able to reach. I think I might have screwed up. Guess we'll find out. This is going to be close. We can definitely reach Saria, that's not a problem. The question is, can she reach Walhart with only 7 move? I might have backed myself too far into the corner last turn. Nope, we just barely were able to reach, okay. The rally move really bailed us out there. I was a little bit worried there because when I did it off stream earlier this week, 3 times, I never had this exact problem. Like, I was always much closer. So this, for a second I thought that I was about to embarrass myself on stream by not being able to get close enough when I thought that I would be able to. Have I done the Tiki Paralog? Not yet, no. Aegis with Aegis Plus is another unnecessary skill combo, yeah. Lunatic Plus moment. Hey Miku, welcome to the stream, thank you for coming. Sorry I didn't see your message right away. I'm very focused on the game right now. Do dual strikes bypass Aegis and Pavis and Aegis and Fates? Actually, I don't know about that. I would assume they would, but I'm not sure. Tricky is saying something is 99% reliable. I don't know which thing you're talking about. You know the skill roll in Lunatic Plus is random, but it's kind of hilarious. Yeah, there's so many hilarious skill combinations, and there's some bosses that are actually easier in Lunatic Plus. Well, not easier, but it's basically, how do I want to say it? Lunatic Plus doesn't make them any stronger because they already have 5 skills guaranteed, so they can't roll any random Lunatic Plus skills. Yeah, rally move saved the run. The Chrom Sumia dual strike is 99% reliable. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I actually want to calc this out. We're going to be using the Alm Blade again, and the Celica's Gale. So Celica's Gale should be doing 10 damage, right? So I want to see something. So 60 minus 42 is 18. Okay, so we're missing 18 HP. So Vengeance should either add 9 damage, so we should either see 10 plus 9, which is 19, or we should see 19 divided by 2. Or no, sorry, not 19 divided by 2. What the other option would be 29, so either 19 damage or 29 divided by 2, which is 14 damage. So we're either going to deal 14 damage or 19 damage, depending on how Aegis interacts with Celica's Gale. Or sorry, Aegis Plus. Alright, let's see what happens. Behold, I am Walhart the Conqueror. And you are but a pebble upon my path to immortality. Does Walhart move first on enemy phase if it comes to that? According to the wiki, yes. According to my personal experience, no. This is one of the reasons why I say, like, you should not always trust the wiki or just believe everything that people tell you on the internet, because and people can write whatever they want on the wiki. It's not always true. There is a strategy that someone has written down before that says if you move into Walhart's range, he will move first, and then you can kill him on enemy phase, and then no other enemies will move, and then you'll beat the chapter. It's not true. I have tried it before. I moved a character in Walhart's range, and what happened is that a bunch of other enemies moved first before Walhart. Okay, so if Aegis affects Vengeance, we're going to deal 14 damage. If Aegis does not affect Vengeance, we're going to deal 19 damage. Okay, Reddit was right. We're not getting as much extra damage from Vengeance as I would like. I wanted to get Saria's HP lower. We really need a crit here in this sequence. Okay, we got the crit. The crit helps immensely. Actually, didn't help that much, but either way, we still got the kill. Celica's Gale, honestly, is kind of the MVP here. Brave weapons in general are very strong for helping to secure boss kills, especially against bosses like this, who have strong defensive skills, because it gives you extra chances to get crits, to get your skill activations, to bait in dual strikes. You think you have won? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. You blow as if to douse a candle, but you only stoke the fires of hell. We got barely any experience for that boss kill, too. We got Soul, which is nice. I'm pretty sure this has no requirement, like any character can wield this. Any character with sword access. Yeah, it's not like the, it's not like Yenfei's sword, which requires a swordmaster. You can actually give the soul to anybody. But it's kind of weird because the main characters who you would want to use it are characters who already have soul anyway, because they would be in the hero class. Yeah, that has been one of the really quick clears on this stream. But in defense, like I mentioned at the start of this stream, this chapter is a lot easier than people make it out to be. It's just very intimidating if you don't know what you're doing. If you know how to get the 1-turn clear, it's very easy. And if you have the skills to get a 3-turn clear or a 4-turn clear, it's still a lot easier than many of the other maps in this game. And the ambush spawns are just irrelevant because you never give them time to spawn anyway. Kind of makes me wonder what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the stream, because that we finished already and it's only been 50 minutes. Less than an hour. Yeah, it's just B-rank swords. Chapter does not take hours to beat. This is kind of the turning point where we get to what I've talked about before in Lunatic Plus. Once your team comes together, you can just beat chapters. Like, we didn't even reset for skills. I literally just hit like start chapter and I just ran right into it and I just killed all of the enemies. I just took actions based on what skills they had, rather than like needing them to have specific skills to be able to win. The next chapter is just like a harder version of what we just did. So like technically we could just run in here and just do the same thing again, but it is harder, so I might want to take some time. You know what we should do? While we're here though, I want to... We got a lot of ace supports unlocked, by the way. That's a huge deal. It's an extra dual strike chance, extra dual guard chance, and an extra +1 in all of the stats that are getting increased. Which on these Bow Knights, we put them into Bow Knight specifically for that reason, because Bow Knight boosts multiple stats, so they will be giving 1 extra stat to their para partner in all of those stats. Lisa Henry, I think, just reached A rank, so unfortunately they're actually kind of still far away from S rank. The jump from A to S is kind of far. We can actually look it up. Might as well do it while we're here. And then there's something else I want to do as well today. Give me a second, guys. Let's go to the Awakening page. We can actually see exactly how many points they need. Supports. Lisa. Henry. They need 5 more points, so at most, or at the fastest, it's going to take us 2 more chapters. Considering they're usually only getting like 1 or 2 points per chapter, it might take even longer than that. It's going to be a while before we see Owain, guys. So the only chapters we have available to us now are either Tiki's Paralog or this chapter that we just opened up. Which definitely makes things a little bit tricky. Man, I would love that short axe. Like, those killer weapons were kind of helpful too. Just don't have any money right now. One good thing about beating this chapter is you get access to the Ruin Tome. I love the Ruin Tome. It has an incredible crit chance. You can use it to get very reliable crits. Okay, so I read something that says if you're going to be sitting at the computer for a while, you should get up and exercise every hour. I don't know if I can really commit to that, depending on how long the stream's going to be, but I figured it'd be fun if we could get up and exercise for 5 minutes, so let's do that. You guys can do it too if you want. You might actually hear me moving around because I'm not going to mute my mic like I usually do. So, I'm standing pretty far away from the microphone, but you might be able to hear me. I have these little hand weights, which obviously you can't see them because I don't have any kind of camera on my stream. I also don't know if you can hear me right now. I'm assuming you can probably hear me. I have these little hand weights. They're not actually little. This one is... where's the weight written down? Okay. 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 2 plus 2. That's 4. That's 7 whatever 7 kilograms is. It's 7 kilograms. I'm guessing that's probably like 15 pounds. I'm not sure. I'm gonna do some bicep curls while standing up. You should probably sit down when you do these too. This also just gives me a chance to like get up and walk around the room while I'm doing these. If you don't get up and walk around for a little bit, like at least once an hour, you can get varicose veins. 9, 10. Forging Might on it is doubly effective. It's actually even better than it sounds because crit weapons. We talked about how forging... Hold on a second, I'm switching to my other hand. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Someone in chat let me know if you can hear me because I might be talking to nobody right now. I think you can hear me. I'm not that far away from the microphone. Crit... we talked before, much earlier in the playthrough, about how effective weapons, when you forge might onto them, you get basically like triple the value because the damage gets tripled, or the weapon might gets tripled. Crit weapons are even better. You hear me? Okay, thank you, Yared. And welcome to the stream, Aid117. Hope you're having a great day today. Is anyone else other than me exercising? Let me know if you're also exercising. So with crit weapons, the reason they're so good and the reason why I've been theory crafting 100% crit builds is because they double your total damage, which is very important, and I'm going to show you why right now. I'm actually still standing up. So I will give myself credit and say that I have not stopped exercising yet. So let me give her... She should be able to wield the Killer Axe, right? Yeah. Okay. So, the Killer Axe has 12 might, but Noe has 37 strength. So when she crits, she's getting an extra 37 damage from her strength stat. So when you forge 1 extra point onto the Beast Killer, it increases the damage from 9 to 12, which is kind of a big deal. You know, that's 3 points of might, right? But when you forge extra, or sorry, when you forge killer weapons, or just when you use killer weapons in general, instead of getting like 3 extra damage, you're getting like 30 extra damage, like 40 extra damage. It's a huge deal. So her crit attack value would be 49 times 2, which is 98. So, and her Beast Killer, we'll just look at what she was doing with the Beast Killer before. So her Beast Killer attack was 46 plus 9 plus 9, which is 64. So her effective damage is 64 with effective weapons, but her crit damage is 98, which is significantly higher. And another awesome thing about crit weapons is they synergize with pair up, because the more strength you have, all the extra strength that you're getting from your partner gets doubled. It synergizes with rally strength or rally magic, because when you get an extra 4 points of strength, that's an extra 8 points of damage. It synergizes with like brave weapons, which is already, you know, one of the more powerful ways to attack anyway. So I'm really interested in crit builds right now. It's one of the reasons why I like Dual Support Plus, Hex, Anathema, Wrath, even like Zeal, like Gamble. I think Gamble is very underrated because it gives you a pretty good crit bonus, and the only trade-off is that you lose a little bit of accuracy, but like your attacks are probably guaranteed to hit anyway. So for the first, like, you know, early on in the game, Gamble kind of sucks because your hit rates are going to be shaky and you don't want to miss. But at this point in the game, like your attacks are not going to miss. So you can afford to take the accuracy penalty from Gamble in order to get the crit bonus from Gamble. And in fact, Dual Support Plus just offsets the hit penalty from Gamble anyway. And so does Hex, and so does Anathema. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, you can also, as Tricky just mentioned in chat, you can also, if you one-hit KO enemies with counter builds, or sorry, with crit builds, then you never take damage from counter because you always just, you know, instantly kill them. If I'm playing on a 3DS, I could stand and walk around while playing. Yeah, I guess that's true. Wrath Vengeance is a good combo. Yeah, Ruin, yes. Yeah, because you're critting and you're killing enemies with a single attack, it actually gets more charges than you would think. That's true as well. Honestly, on crit weapons, it's actually probably better to forge crit onto them rather than forging might, because if you get that critical hit, it's worth way more than 1 point of damage. So it's kind of interesting. But like if you maxed out the crit chance of like of a killer axe, for example, and just gave it like a maximum crit chance, if you could get to 100% crit, or even if you could just like get to 90% crit to make it more likely to happen, when you land those crits, it gives you way more than 1 point of damage. It gives you, you know, an extra, in this case, like we talked about, it's an extra 46 damage. Like, it's crazy how powerful crits are. Your favorite crit skill is Solidarity. Yeah, me too. I love it. It's just unfortunate that only two characters can use it. Normally, sometimes you can get it onto like a third character, but it's like only 3 per playthrough, and it's not always the same characters. You've routed out the Walhart map before by blocking all the forts. It takes a lot of resets to get good opening turns, and then you remove most of the initial enemy groups. Yeah, I've done that before on Lunatic mode. I could not solve that on Lunatic Plus. I think it's just too hard because the enemies coming from the forts can spawn with counter, and that just changes the whole dynamic. Tricky, you've heard someone say that enemies don't realize they have pass in Tiki's paralog. Is that true? I'm not sure. We can go test it. I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure they'll run right through you and kill Tiki. I don't know if it's either that person was mistaken or you might have misunderstood what they said, but I think what they were talking about is that if enemies have pass, they try to reach Tiki even if they can't actually reach her. They won't attack your enemies. They'll just keep moving like towards Tiki and trying to reach her. Even if they can't reach her, they'll still just not attack you. And we have to incorporate that into our strategy to clear this map on Lunatic Plus. So you could, like, pass, like, hurts your strategy, but in a weird way it actually also plays to your advantage. So, if I'm understanding it correctly, the way it works is that if I have units standing here, 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 and here, and an enemy has pass, they'll run up and they won't attack my enemy because they're trying to reach Tiki. But if they don't have pass and they can't reach Tiki, they'll run up and they'll just attack one of my characters if I'm blocking her. Does that make sense? Yeah, we can start by just surrounding her and seeing what they do. I mean, we could just do some testing and then maybe we'll clear this chapter today. I'm not sure. So we just do something like this. Most of the enemies like won't attack us at all anyway. Alright, so this guy has pass, so he should run up and attack Tiki. But this guy does not have pass, so he should attack whatever character is blocking his path to reach Tiki. Same thing on this side. These two have pass, so they should run through and attack Tiki. But this guy does, or this lady does not have pass, so she'll just attack whatever is blocking her path. Although she can't reach Tiki this turn anyway, so I think she might not. I'm not sure if they attack if they can't reach Tiki anyway. That's another thing I'm not sure about. Yeah, okay, so if they have pass, they will definitely use it. That's what I thought. Now the question is, if we block her like completely, like if they cannot reach her, will they attack us? I think the answer is yes. But I think the units with pass will not attack us because they think they can attack Tiki. I need to buy more rescue stabs again already. How do I get Tiki up here? I kind of see it, but if I do that, I'm wasting so many actions that I should otherwise be using. To kill enemies, to clear out enemies. It's tough to move her against the wall because I'll always rescue her into this tile south of me. Okay, what about if I put a character here? If I put a character here, and then I rescue here, that should move Tiki over here or here. Ideally, I'd want her here. In fact, let me rescue... Yeah, okay. I think I know what I need to do. Let me test it. So if I stand here, and then I rescue here, I believe Tiki... Oh, in fact, I don't even need to use the terrain. I don't even need to use other characters because the terrain should move Tiki to the left. Nope, she goes south. Okay, that defies every single thing that I know or understand. I was supposed to rescue from this tile anyway, but this defies every single thing that I know or understand about how the rescue staff works. Because typically, if there's any terrain in the tile, the character will not get pulled to that tile. They'll always get pushed somewhere else instead. In fact, I'm going to test that right now. Is that just on this map, or is that just with Tiki? Because that was completely unexpected behavior. That should never happen. Yeah, see? If there's terrain here, the character gets pushed to the left. But for some reason, Tiki doesn't do that. She can actually get rescued onto terrain. Okay, sure, why not? The rescue staff prefers to pull south, but if there's terrain in a tile, that tile counts as being blocked. So it really confused me as to why Tiki got pulled there, because that shouldn't happen. Typically when you use a rescue staff, they won't get pulled onto a woods tile, they'll get pushed to the left instead. But for some reason, Tiki can get pushed onto a woods tile, which is wild. It might be because she has 0 move, yeah, I mean, actually that might actually be the reason. That actually might be the reason. And why I say that is because I've looked at the code, not for Awakening, but for Fire Emblem games in general, and terrain doesn't really exist the way that we think it does. Every piece of terrain just has, like every tile on the map just has like a movement type or movement cost associated with it, and every unit in the game has like a number that interfaces with that movement type or with that terrain cost. And I'm guessing this whole thing about like characters not getting rescued onto the woods tile has something to do with like their movement type interfacing with the terrain, with the number that's assigned to the woods terrain. But because Tiki has 0 movement, that should mean that she doesn't have whatever number that these characters have that's associated with the woods tile, and so as a result she can get pulled onto the woods tile. That's my guess for why that happened. It could just be completely baseless conjecture. We really want her to get pulled left here. Okay, sure. Alright. I think we can still pull her either here or here if we really want to, though. Because you want her to be pulled away from this group here. In fact, hold on a second. 8. Yeah, okay. So if she's here, she should be safe. So let's try that. Am I planning on using Tiki after I clear this map? No, not at all. There's no space for her on my team, and she doesn't fill any role that I need. And she has no skills, and she's a level 20 in a bad class. Manicate's not bad, but it's bad at this point in the game. If you're a level 20 Manicate, you're pretty useless. We'd have to grind her all the way up to level 30 to make her useful. Or we could reset her to a level 1 staff using class, but then she'd only have like a rescue range of about 7. And that's not that useful on a character who can't support with anybody and who has no skills. Typically, if you're going to use a character for that, it's going to be somebody who has like some kind of prospects. Alright, so we'll do the same thing. We'll just do it here. This will at least pull her onto the forest tile. Although if she had a movement stat, it would push her to the left instead, but we just have to live with it. Yeah, we would need to body block with 2 units, and I'm not wasting 2 units doing that. I'll just leave her here. This tile's fine. Alright. Silver Axe, he does not have counter. We should be able to double him. Yes, we do. What about her? Oh, probably not. Her speed is actually quite low. Alright, so let's do it this way then. The only thing I'm worried about is I think ambush spawns appear here, and that means Longku could get attacked twice instead of only getting attacked once. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly how the reinforcements work on this map. We want a bow user here. Let's actually use Noir for this. Then we're gonna do... I'd like to put some characters over here to intercept the boss and his group. Does killing... I wonder if killing the boss stops the reinforcements on this chapter. I'm gonna check that really quick. I don't think it does. In fact, I think we might have tested it on the last stream. What is this one called? Wellspring of Truth. I can actually find out. There's an easier way to find out. Threat of Silence. I don't see any notes about stopping reinforcements by killing the boss. We can still enemy phase him though. Yes, we can. I could do 26 speed. Should be able to rally speed for him. I just need one of these guys to not have counter, which it looks like it's going to be this direction here. Okay, so my big concern here is that I think these guys, if we get rid of them, they'll just be replaced by enemies who have like ambush capabilities, and then those guys will just kill us. So we'd like to avoid that if possible. To rally speed, I need to have her in the lead, which is not fantastic. We can actually do this. What I should have done is just have her rally speed at the start. I'm really bad at using rallies. That's like my biggest blind spot in my gameplay. Okay. This should be fine, and then Saria and Robin are going to go over here and deal with these guys. And actually, none of them have counter. Which makes it very likely that I can Nosferatu sweep them. The question is, do I even need to use Nosferatu? Because it does have limited charges. And I also forgot to give her a better tome. I don't think we're going to beat this on this attempt. This is mostly just me testing things out. Hey Pika Boy, welcome to the stream. Hello Flying Rope, welcome to the stream. People are saying it's killing the boss won't stop the reinforcements. It works in some chapters, but I guess not this one. They ignore everyone but Tiki, so you can't enemy phase them. Ah, okay. I couldn't remember if they can't reach Tiki, if they would still attack you, but I guess the answer is no. So then, honestly, what we should be doing then is setting up some kind of strategy for body blocking her, and then clearing out enemies while keeping her blocked. But I don't really see how body blocking her really helps, because those enemies, then they'll just kill Olivia, then they'll just kill Lisa, then they'll just kill Henry. I just don't understand how body blocking Tiki actually helps us in any way. The only thing is that if it works with the pass skill, it means there's fewer enemies we have to kill per turn, because we can just keep the enemies with pass alive. But either way, we can just do this then. We don't have to worry about enemy phasing. Yeah, you guys are right. Okay, cool. So, here's what we need to do. Because by pulling her to the left, we made it so that the enemies on the right side and the bottom can't reach her as fast, which gives us additional turns to clean them up. When does the boss start moving then? That's a better question. Boss starts moving on turn 5 or when he's attacked. Reinforcements, the last turn of reinforcements is also on turn 5. So we can actually ignore the boss then. We can just deal with him later. Nice. That dual strike. It's not mandatory, but it definitely helped. Then we're gonna go here. I'm gonna use a hand axe. Ew, unfortunately, this guy doubles me. How do I get around that? I guess the answer is that I don't. This does mean, though, we can kind of just leave Olivia wherever we want. No. Here's the problem. Okay, guys, here's the problem. The enemies who can reach Tiki but don't have pass will start attacking Olivia. So if we use this strategy, we have to make sure that we kill everything that doesn't have pass, with priority. Can you dance for long? You cannot. Huh. What about... I mean, technically I could have Sumia rally move for her. I need to get a pair of boots for Olivia. When do you get boots in this game? I'm gonna look it up. She really needs boots. I think we gave them to Sumia, didn't we? I'm very strongly feeling that we gave them to Sumia, because she has 10 movement, which is not normal. But I can't remember if there's another pair. Boots. Okay. I mean, there's definitely boots in this game. Are they not called boots? Are they called something else? Speedwing, Goddess Icon, Draco Shield, Talisman, Nagastira boots. They are called boots. It doesn't show up because there's a star next to it. So when you control F boots, it doesn't show up. I guess I would have to control F star boots. That's stupid. I would highly recommend changing the formatting on the website so that people can actually search for the term boots. Okay, anyway, there's only one pair in the game. We got them in Chapter 17. We used them on Sumia. So yeah, Olivia, unfortunately, is going to have crappy movement for the rest of the game. Hello, Forever Bronze. Welcome to the stream. Is it worth it to keep Tiki alive? You can just play safe. I actually think if the pass manipulation strategy works, it is worth it. because it makes the map significantly easier to clear by manipulating the enemy AI. Oh, let's do this. This works. Yes, it does. I'd love a dodge here. Aether also works. So what we want to do is keep the enemies with pass and one range weapons alive, so that they'll body block Tiki. But I feel like once they do that, that's going to cause the other enemies to become aggressive. That's my one concern. So like this guy here we could keep alive because he has pass and he has a one range weapon. This guy's pass, but he has a two range weapon, so we want to kill him. I feel like Lucina and Cynthia finally have come online. Like they're finally actually dealing decent damage, at least with effective weapons. So this guy we want to get rid of. I should probably have a steel bow. Let me go into the convoy. Uh, 37 plus 25. I don't think that kills. Actually it does. But then Crom's damage is going to be lowered though. So we'll only deal 60 damage. We actually leave them alive on 1 HP. That's funny. That happens a lot. That happens way more than you'd think. Like enemies just surviving on exactly 1 HP. Okay, that dual strike actually helps a lot. It's going to preserve Sumia's HP for later. So we could leave this guy alive. Technically we could kill him, but I'll just go for the boss while I'm here anyway. And then we can keep that other guy alive for testing purposes. Technically I could kill him, but it's fine. Got a Hammer's Staff. Beautiful. Okay, these guys right here, this one we have to kill. This one we don't have to kill, in theory. If we can... Oh, also we have to make sure we actually have enough actions and enough characters to completely body block Tiki. This one we don't have to kill, so we just have to kill this guy and then get back into position. I need to... this is tricky though, because Olivia can't dance for anyone this turn. Well, I can dance here. I mean, it's better than doing nothing. I can also use her to body block, which is important. Okay, so if she's body blocking, Henry's body blocking, Lisa's body blocking. The ones with pass should try to use all of their movement to get close to Tiki. And they will just stand here next to my characters and won't do anything. Like, they won't attack, they won't do anything. That's, I believe, how pass manipulation works. Especially based on our testing in Side Story 2. I think it will work on this map as well. The problem is this guy, he has a 2-range weapon, and also he doesn't have pass anyway, but even if he had pass, because he has a 2-range weapon, he'd stand here and he would attack her. So we have to kill her now. Which... oh man, we should just have like a regular... yeah, we should have done better inventory prep. Really should have done better inventory prep. Okay, that's fine, I guess. So what we want to do is... I mean, I guess Ruin Tome. Cool. Alright. So, let's see if this works. Yes, it works. So pass manipulation does work on this chapter, so as long as we have characters standing immediately adjacent to Tiki, we can leave alive any enemies who have pass and have one-range weapons. This will be very important when we start developing our final strategy for this chapter, but at this point I feel pretty comfortable with what we've got available. This guy has to die. This guy has to die because he has a two-range weapon. Forever Bronze is asking, Ellery, how did you get the dancer to level 27? Did you feed her kills? No, I just dance like every single turn. She just gets levels. Hello Platey, welcome to the stream. You hope the run is going well? Yeah, it's been going fine. It's actually, I mean, I would say for the channel, this run has been great. This has been by far the most successful content that I've ever posted on this channel. People like the streams, and people even like the guide videos, and they get more views than basically anything else that I post. Have I seen the Fire Emblem Awakening community tier list on the Fire Emblem Reddit? Is it like on the front page right now, or is it just like something that was posted a while ago? I'm looking at the front page right now. Community Fire Emblem 13 tier list. Is that Awakening is Fire Emblem 13, right? Frederick and Robin S tier. This is what they're saying. I don't know if I have a way to bring this up on screen for you guys to look at. Hold on a second, I'm pretty sure I can. I just gotta move this out of the way. Alright, give me a second. I like the fact that Donald is at the bottom. That makes me very happy. Oh my god, it wants to save as a WebP. Does any, by the way, is there any person on the planet who likes the WebP file format? I feel like overnight they just like every single website just changed from like having the files be what they are to being WebP, and it's like trash. Like it does nothing. It's like a completely useless file format. I don't understand what's so good about it, why everybody changed over to WebP at the same time. Alright, so this might not work, but it might work. I'm going to try adding the image of the tier list. Unfortunately, Streamlabs has to update. No, it doesn't have. Actually, I can do update later. So I don't typically use this computer for streaming, but I'm pretty sure if I add the image like to my scene here, it will actually show up on the stream. As long as I'm connected to the internet, which I am. Even though I'm actually streaming from the other computer. We're gonna find out very soon. While I wait for that, I'll see what people are talking about in chat. If enough of them clump around your defense, they start body blocking the 2-range units as well. Yeah, that's true. Did you post about that on Reddit, Aid? Because I was talking to someone on Reddit about it, and they basically advised me to use that same strategy. Yeah, Olerin, we already cleared the Walhart map. It went very smoothly. I showed off the 1-turn clear, and then I showed off the 4-turn clear. WebP is my mortal enemy, says Z-Man. Yeah, I hate WebP. Fun little fact: if you switch the file format, like when the window pops up to save the file, if you change it from WebP to all files, and then you just write like .png at the end, it will actually save as a PNG. So you can still save files as PNGs. It just makes it like an extra step that you shouldn't have to do, but they force you to do it anyway. Okay, I'm waiting for Streamlabs to open on my other slower PC that I don't use for streaming. We can talk about this tier list. I guess while we do that, let me have Long Q kill this guy real quick. Based. Long Q is so epic, guys. The fact that Lisa's not in the S tier is obviously an error. But she's not necessarily widely understood to be as good as she is. So I can understand why. Okay, so I'm going to do media. I'm going to add an image, add a source. If I do my variable image source, it's going to show up as a bunch of fireworks. Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the file location. I don't know if you guys are seeing that right now. That's the only question, is whether or not you guys are actually seeing that. If you guys just saw a bunch of fireworks appear on the screen, then what I'm doing is working. If you're not seeing that, then I'm just wasting my time doing something that you guys can't see. I gotta go into this folder. Click done. Okay, now I'm gonna go on this PC. I'm going to click on this. Okay, it's not appearing, but I think I can do this. No, that doesn't look like it's working. Okay. It didn't work. Alright, sorry guys, I'm not gonna... Well, I mean, I could do it, but it would just take a lot more extra time and effort. Do I want to do that? Okay, who cares about this tier list? Because if people in chat care, I will go through the effort that it would take to make it visible so we can talk about it on stream. In fact, I'll make a poll. Alright, vote me if you want to see it. Vote not... What did I write? Nobody? Write nobody if you don't want to waste time talking about it. You hate this format so much. I really hate it. Yeah, I hate WebP. It's a recent one. Yeah, it was just posted on Reddit, I guess, pretty recently, because it's on the front page right now. It's on Reddit, Tricky. WebP is fairly efficient, but it's just not supported by a lot of things. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like every website wants you to save it, like wants to save files as WebP by default, but then it's just like not an actually useful file format. Okay, so pass one range, pass one range, pass one range, so he's fine. These two both need to die. Should be fine. Let me see if I can get Crom up here, actually, though. Where the heck are they? Okay, I can bounce them. I can actually leapfrog them up there. This way. Yeah, these two do not have skills that I want to deal with right now. Well, let me do this. This should be fine. Yes. Okay. This should allow me to leapfrog up there. Not as far as I would like. No, this tile's fine, actually. This tile's fine. So if I stand here, I can access the convoy. That's going to allow me to grab the Arcwind. And then, aside from that, I'll just make sure I have something, like, useful. Like, I mean, what's useful, though? That's the question. I guess Wilderwind is actually pretty specifically useful here. And then for the other one, I guess I'll keep the Ruined Tome on me just in case I need it. Okay, so I should be able to kill these guys just using Arcwind. That's correct. In fact, can I just do it with Flux? Yeah, these guys I can actually just kill with Flux anyway. But still, it's nice to have this. Okay, now I do have to kill this guy. So I need to be very careful about my remaining actions. That's not gonna cut it. We're gonna have to do this. This guy's fine. I kind of want to actually leave these guys alive. As crazy as it sounds. Specifically because they body block for us. Okay, now I can dance here. And then fly over here. Now, we just need to make sure we can kill this guy, which I think we should be able to. That tomahawk is pretty scary, though. Oh, that tomahawk is scary. Can he kill Lucina? No, he can't kill her. Okay, we're fine. It's tricky that we have to have Lucina in the lead, because we'd actually rather have Cynthia in the lead. For flyer mobility. Alright, what do these guys have? This guy we need to get rid of soon. This guy we also need to get rid of soon. Plus whatever spawns next turn. Okay, who has not acted yet? Just these three. I should be able to physics somebody. Lucina. Sorry, I can heal herself. I want to get somebody else in this position here, so that Noe can start moving again, but it's going to have to wait. We could conceivably beat this chapter right now, honestly, given the way things are going. It's going to become tricky, though, over the next few turns when more enemies start spawning. It looks like people are kind of 50-50 on the tier list thing. I'll wait, and I'll talk about it later if I still feel like it, rather than stopping in the middle of what we're doing. Plady says, sorry to derail the stream, no pressure, you were just curious on my opinion. Oh no, I found it interesting. I derailed myself, honestly, just because it's very easy for me to derail myself if I find something even like mildly interesting. Alright, I wish there was a way for me to just flag these guys so that I could remember to ignore them and not have to check them every turn. We'll deal with it. This guy we have to kill, this guy we have to kill. This guy we have to kill later, this guy we have to kill, this guy's fine, this guy's fine. Okay. Let's start with the ones we have to kill. Was it also this guy? Yeah, this guy we have to kill too. I think Wanku can get him. That Aegis is going to be a problem, but if it's going to be a problem anyway, it's better to start chipping away at it now. The question is, though, could we get Noe to pair up with him? Because that would help a lot. In order to get Noe to pair up with him, we have to get Cynthia or Lucina over here at the end of the turn, or Sumia, after they kill something else. This guy's fine, we can ignore him. This guy we have to kill. This guy we can leave alive. Alright, let's actually highlight the enemies we need to kill. That's a good way to do it. It's actually not that many. There's only a couple of enemies we need to kill this turn. This guy's dangerous. Dangerous. Not dangerous. Dangerous. Okay, is anyone threatening Tiki this turn? Other than this guy? No, okay. So if we get rid of this guy, we're pretty safe. That allows me to take a riskier action here. I can do this. If we get the dual strike, which we did, which is great, this allows me to pull Noe away. Now I can put this duo over here if I want to, or I could even just get rid of another character, or another enemy. I kind of got to be careful now, though, because I got to make sure that I get them up there by the end of the turn. I would love having just one extra unit this chapter. Yeah, this makes this kill a lot more reliable. Yeah, dual strikes are a great way to play around Aegis and Pavis. Okay, that feels very good. Let's actually just put these two up there for this turn because they can't. These two can't use Galeforce, so they have a lot more limited like usability being on the outside. This guy we actually have to kill. I missed him. Yeah, this guy needs to be killed. Which thankfully we have actions for that. Oh, I did things backwards. Did I? No, this is fine. Yeah, I just missed this guy earlier when I was going through the enemies. We have plenty of actions to kill him though. Like, we can do this now. If this kills, which it should, this will even allow me to rotate Cynthia back into the lead and then heal Lonku. I don't want to use a recover staff for this, but I kind of have to. No, I can use Physic. I mean, is Physic more valuable than recover? I actually don't know. I just wish one of them was holding... I just wish that I put a heal staff into her inventory. Okay. Let's go down here and start chipping away at these guys. Just because we have a spare action anyway. What is she going to be better at killing? Wow. Wow. That's with Elwind. She does like no damage at all. Okay. Good to know, I guess. Let's actually do this. Okay. Dual strike was massive. Now we can do this. Beautiful. I don't want to waste an elixir. Actually, I really should have reorganized my inventory before I started this. I thought this was just going to be a test attempt, but we kind of have, by necessity, ended up making it into like a real attempt. But the problem is, like, none of my characters have the items I want them to be holding. I mean, I can definitely Nosferatu something if I have to. That's a consideration. This is probably the smartest place to stand, and then... I mean, we have to heal Lonku. We just have to heal him. Because if he needs to fight something next turn, he needs to be on full health. It sucks that I'm wasting a recover staff on that. But I have to do it. In fact, same thing goes for you. I just need to heal you. Alright, who has not acted? Henry? Alright, so we should be fine. Yeah, the enemies would pass. They just cluster. They don't actually do anything. Now I'm going to have to go through and identify all of the enemies that need to be eliminated, so give me a minute to do that. This was the last wave of reinforcements, so there will not be any more enemies. Everything that you see on the screen right now are the enemies that we have to kill. I'm going to start just from the top row. I'm just going to grab everything, even the enemies that we've already looked at. This enemy is safe. Safe. Someone... I'm going to go through this slowly. If I miss something, please call it out to me. So this guy, anything that has one range weapon and has pass, we can leave alive. So this guy's safe, safe, safe. This guy has a 2-range weapon, so we have to kill him. 1 range, pass. This guy's safe. 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 2 range, we have to kill him. One range pass, that guy's safe. This guy, one range pass, he's safe. This guy's two range, we have to kill him. One range, but he does not have pass, so we have to kill him. Because if we block the way to Tiki and he doesn't have pass, he will attack us. It's only the enemies who have pass that go into like a broken state, because we're manipulating their AI by the fact that they have pass. They think they can keep moving towards Tiki even though they can't. This guy has to be killed. And I think this is the last row. This guy's fine. This guy's dangerous. This guy is dangerous. Okay, we have a lot of dangerous enemies. There's also a couple more over here that I didn't notice yet. He's fine. Dangerous. Dangerous. And dangerous. No, not dangerous. Safe. Okay. Right? Yeah, one range with pass. Okay. So, gosh. Okay. Let's start by eliminating the ones that we can eliminate. We should be able to have her run out, kill something, dance for her, and then run back in. So I'm going to do that. Now, if we need to later, we can dance for her and have her run back in. Let me save Lonku's action to kill something that possibly, like, maybe another character would struggle with killing. I have to be very careful about how I use Lucina and Cynthia, because I need them to attack with, like, guaranteed kills. Or, like, near guaranteed. As near as I can guarantee it. So this is a good start. Now I'm going to go here, because, yeah, if we fail to kill this guy, he won't be able to reach Tiki this turn anyway. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to try for a dual strike. Got it. Now Lonk can kill this guy. Beautifully done. The best part is Cynthia triggered dual strike, which means we get another action out of this pair. Duke Nuka says putting Noe in Donald's level is insanity. Yeah, that's too weak. She's actually not a great unit. There's a couple reasons why. She actually has a lot of the same flaws as Donald, but she's not as bad as Donald. Donald is significantly worse. When Noe joins, she can fight enemies right away. And if you train her up to level 10 or level 30, you can do things with her. She has a lot of versatility. She actually has a wider class set than Donald does. She can even just be a staff user, like you can just use her as a staff user. Donald can't do that. Donald can't fight it. Like when Donald joins, he can't fight anything. How do you train a unit who literally cannot fight anything? And then after you train him, he has the smallest class set of any character in the game. I just don't get it. I do not understand the Donald love. Alright. I'm actually going to repeat the same thing over here. Yeah, that's fine, because we actually killed this guy with the Javelin. Even if we don't dual strike. So that's kind of clutch. Okay. This Bolganon's going to be tricky. Yeah, that Bolganon's going to be tricky. That's going to be one of the hardest ones to get rid of. Let me see if I can Nosferatu him. I mean, not really, but sort of. I'm basically praying for Silver Axe dual strikes or crits here. Got it. Tomebreaker also really improves her combat against that guy. We had to use Nosferatu here. I think, actually, we probably didn't. We probably could have just used Ruin there. Okay. The last enemy who is directly threatening, I believe, is this one. What does he have for defense? Not actually anything that scares me. So I should be able to do this. I can Javelin him. I just need one dual strike. Yeah, Donald belongs in the bottom tier by himself. There's nobody in this game who is as bad as Donald. Donald is by far the worst character in the game. Yared thinks that Donald is great when you invest a lot. I mean, honestly, not really. In my opinion, he's not. He has, as I just said, he has the most narrow class set of any character in the game. He literally has the fewest classes of any character in the game. Even if you want to use him as a soul tank, he has fewer class options than any other soul tank. And there's nothing else that he can do. Like, soul tank is the only thing that he can do, and he has fewer class options than every other soul tank. And he takes more time and effort to get him to the point where he can use soul. Any character in this game will be strong if you invest a ton of levels and experience into them. The only difference is that Donald takes more levels and more experience, and he is basically not as strong as any of the others. Okay, I'm gonna have to dance for you. I'm gonna put you back over here. Now, if this all works the way that we think it does, once we get the enemies into formation, we should be able to just feed the kills to whoever we want. Let me run back over here and kill this guy. Or at least damage him. Beautiful. Training him in Lunatic Plus is a nightmare. That's a good point too. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't even want to give people a pass for overrating him on Lunatic, because he's really bad. Like, he's genuinely bad. It's baffling how, like, well, I mean, honestly, if you look at the tier list, oh, okay, I thought that was the last round of enemies. I guess this was the last round of enemies. So we actually have one more turn of that. This is gonna by far be the hardest turn. Especially because now we're gonna have to go through and mark all the enemies again. I'm pretty sure anything no, actually I was wrong. I was gonna say anything in the top 2 rows should be safe, but that's actually not true. This guy's dangerous. Safe. 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 Danger. Danger. Safe. Danger. 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 We got really unlucky with this bottom group. Does this one reach Tiki? Oh no, not at all. Danger. God, we got really unlucky with the last group. Dangerous. Dangerous. Danger. Yeah, we got really unlucky. I don't think we got a single enemy with pass in the last wave of reinforcements, except for the ones that had 2 ranged weapons. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think every single enemy in the last wave spawned as dangerous. That's going to make this last phase really tough to clean up, especially because we're basically down 3 actions. Because we have to use these characters to block Tiki's... the space that Tiki's standing in. Let me confirm that. Let me just triple check to make sure that these guys aren't dangerous. Okay, they're not. I believe this guy is technically not dangerous, because he doesn't have a square that he can stand in to attack Tiki. But the weird thing is that if enemies see lethal, they will reposition to attack her, so it's a little bit scary. We will save the ones with pass for last, but we should otherwise try to make sure that we get rid of everything here. Technically, I feel like we can actually kind of ignore these guys. I'm pretty sure we can ignore these guys, right? The only thing is, this guy might see that the way to Tiki is blocked. No, I don't think he reaches Tiki. Okay, because this guy can't reach Tiki, he doesn't see that she's blocked yet, so he should ignore us. Oh, this sucks. Okay, we got it. Might have been a good idea to put Noe in the lead there. Yeah, because now he can't actually he can't actually reach anything. Okay, that's one. That's one. One down. This guy doesn't have counter, so I can potentially get him with the Beast Killer. I think that's a good idea, honestly. I need to make sure that Cynthia's picking up kills here. Nice. Aether proc is huge there. That actually conserves a Beast Killer charge. Because if you proc Aether, it only uses one weapon charge. It doesn't use two. It's same with Astra. Astra doesn't use 5 weapon charges. It only uses 1. Okay, now we can switch. Probably, honestly, I would honestly love it if Lucina would get rid of both of these guys, which I think she can. Let me just see if I need to fight them in a specific order. It doesn't seem to matter. Well, technically this one's better to fight first, but he's also the one that I might not kill. So let's just start here. Ooh, Aether again. Huge. Now we can get rid of this guy, hopefully. Nicely done. Now we can get rid of this guy. Does Flux kill? Yeah, Flux kills. Oh, he has counter. Oh my god. That could have gone horribly wrong. I didn't even need to stand next to him. I was actually trying to fight him from 2 range. For some reason, I just misclicked standing next to him, and then he also had counter, which was really bad. That could have gone so much worse. Alright, let me physic you. We got lucky there. We got bailed out by luck. Okay, we want to leave these enemies alive, the ones that have been vetted, so that they body block the 2 ranges that have counter. I mean, I guess I'll just have him go back over here and kill this guy then. I'm trying to think what are going to be the enemies that are the most difficult to get rid of. The ones with high resistance, right? This square kind of sucks, though. Can I end the turn with Noe in the lead? Yes, but... this actually works. Okay, this is worth a Beast Killer charge for me. Just to guarantee this kill, and get Noe in the lead, so that she can fly wherever she needs to next turn, as opposed to Lonku, who's ground blocked, and these wood tiles block his movement. These wood tiles are egregious, offensive. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of overlapping colors here, but I don't think anything right now reaches Tiki. Anything that wants to attack her. It's really hard to tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I know. He doesn't reach Tiki. What about him? No, he doesn't reach. Alright, well, let's just get rid of him anyway. While we're here. Nice crit. Okay. So I'm not 100% confident about this, but I think we're safe this turn. The only thing that would cause problems is if this cluster of enemies causes this guy to see that Tiki is blocked. I don't think he can see that Tiki is blocked. I'm pretty sure she cannot see that Tiki is blocked, because she can only move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She can only move to this square, which means she can only see these squares. She can't see that Tiki is blocked yet, so she shouldn't attack anything yet. That is accurate. Okay, but now they will attack. The enemies that I have highlighted in red, they will start attacking now. So these are going to start becoming real threats. So let's start getting rid of them. This might have been a mistake, because now Lucina's not going to be able to get over this forest tile. She can actually just barely clear it. Got lucky there. I don't like her odds. I'm gonna go Lucina first. Which one of these? This one's definitely more dangerous, so we'll have Lucina get rid of him. Okay. Tomahawk. I mean, I should be able to handle a Tomahawk, right? I need a dual strike here. Crit's nice too. Okay, we're getting close to the point where we're only going to have a big cluster of enemies that are not aggressive, and then we can feed these kills to whoever we want, which is actually going to be pretty cool. Where's Cynthia? Let me make sure I have enough actions to kill these remaining 3 enemies before I do anything else stupid. This guy is going to be a problem because he's high defense, but he has Aegis plus, so I'm going to use Sumia for this. Just because Chrom has the most reliable dual strike. And if that didn't finish him off, we could have used Cynthia to secure the kill. Okay, now we just have to deal with this guy, which I would love for Long Q to take care of him, which I think Long Q can reach. Yes. The reason we have to kill him, even though he has a one-range weapon, is because he does not have pass, which means he will see that Tiki is blocked, which will cause him to attack one of my units instead. And we cannot allow that. Alright, we have a few actions available. We can start with this. Beautiful. Dance. Oh, she triggered Galeforce, of course. She doesn't need a dance. I want a staff that's not going to waste weapon charges. Oh, I can just go into the convoy. Now I can dance for you. I'm going to get her to level 20 for sure. Preferably on heal staff grinding if I can, because it's the most efficient way to get experience. Okay, so the enemy should do nothing this turn. Okay, perfect. We now have an experience grind. We can give this experience to any characters that we want. This is fantastic. This went even better than I could have hoped. Is Tiki any good? I personally don't really think she's that good, because she joined so late. I know some people use her though, and some people like her. Flying Rope says they only attack units that block the way to Tiki. Any units outside of this cluster are actually safe. Really? If that's true, that's actually pretty cool. I wish I had seen that. We could have tested it. Duke Nuka, you love seeing Lucina pulling her own weight after a rocky start. Snow Warning says Lucina had a real glow up this run. She's being treated like a competent unit now. Yeah, Lucina and Cynthia both have finally become pretty strong, which is great to see. The interesting thing is we're actually going to keep her in Falcon Knight. The only reason I want to get her level 20 is just so that she can use a seal now, rather than having to find time to use it during the middle of battle, in a future battle. Bowfair on Chrom would be good, yeah, for sure it would. How close is he? He's actually getting pretty close. Yeah, let's give Chrom some experience. Let's just start chipping enemies with Chrom. That's actually a really good call. How reasonable is it for him to get to 15 here? Would we have to give him every single kill? I mean, if we have to, it's not the end of the world, but... I would like for Long Q to get pass. I would like for Noe to get Swordbreaker. She's further off though. I want these two to get levels for sure. These are definitely these units are definitely struggling. Perfect. 15. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so even if he kills everything on this map, he'll only get like 150 experience, which will not get him to level 15, so it's actually not worth it for me to do that right now. Getting Cynthia to 15, level 20 is a lot more reasonable. Sorry, I'm not that worried about. Robin, I'm actually kind of worried about. He could definitely use some stats. Problem is we've reclassed him enough times already where his experience gain has started to slow down. Still, I can have him hit something with counter. Yeah. The reason I'm doing that is so that Cynthia can heal him next turn, by the way. Alright, Lonk. Like I said, I mean, if he gets past, it's kind of useful. I would also like for Lisa and Henry to get some combats together, but that's going to be pretty tricky, because I have to get a unit into Henry's space. In fact, I need to free up the space next to Lisa so that I can pair up with her anyway. Alright, let's hold off on Lonk. We can give him experience if we need to, or want to, but it's not a decision we need to make right now. Oh, hold on a second, before I do anything else. Potential experience boost here. Yep, that went exactly as I wanted it to go. Perfect. The other shiny tile's over here. Let's give this one to Lonk. Now we can do this. This will get us to level 20. Now we can use the second seal and just switch back to a level 1 Falcon. Experience? Nope. I mean, it gave him some bow rank, which is kind of useful. Alright, so we kind of want to give him a couple of kills so that he can reach 15 assassin. So this second seal, when you're at level 20, you can go back to level 1. Oops. When you're at level 20, you can go back to level 1 in the same class, which is what we're going to be doing here. This is going to just allow us to continue to be a Falcon Knight, but continue to gain, like, infinite levels, essentially. I don't want to change her classes because she's actually one of my more valuable staff users. Oh, I love the fact that I got rid of the lag in these character animations. There is still a little bit of lag when I have characters using spells to attack, but other than that, it's pretty consistent. The awesome thing is you can just still continue to gain experience just from spamming heal stabs too. Yeah. Her build is pretty complete at this point. How complete does Lucina feel? Honestly, Lucina feels pretty complete too. So the big thing is honestly just getting pass on Longku now, and then getting levels onto these two so they can fight effectively. Noe or Longku want experience more? I could do stuff like this. Yeah, because this gives Longku experience while also giving Noe experience. I'm not that concerned about Bowfair on Chrom, honestly. Because most of his damage comes from the triple weapon might from effective damage. Not so much from, like, an extra 5. Like, an extra 5 will help meet some margins, but it's not gonna, like, you know, it's not gonna change things that much. Okay, I can have, I have to be careful, but I can have these two pair up and fight together now. I'm actually gonna unequip Lisa and have Henry attack. This will ensure that they can fight together as many times as possible, because Henry won't kill the enemies. And then these two can stand here, now they can body block. Alright, we should be fine now. Perfect. This is actually good because Henry gets a lot of experience too. And his stats are quite bad. Honestly, his stats are bad enough that it's probably not even worth training him. He's just too far behind. He's not gonna be able to catch up in a reasonable amount of time. Is this map Iron Man reliable if I body block like this? Oh yeah, I could definitely see myself doing this in the Iron Man. I mean, you just saw me do it. I just walked into the map with no real planning. I haven't even tested this strategy before. I just, like, someone told me about it on Reddit. I came in, I tried it one time, and I got it to work with a 100% consistency right away. So this is absolutely Iron Man viable. I mean, you have to have a team that's strong enough to do what I'm doing here. You can't just do this with any team, because you will get, I had, like, you know, like last turn I had 12 enemies that were highlighted in red. You need enough firepower to kill those 12 enemies, but what this does, this pass manipulation, it took these other, like, 10 to 12 enemies that would normally, I would have had to get rid of these every turn, which causes you to fall further and further behind, and it just made it so that I didn't have to get rid of these enemies, and I could save them for later, and then even better, you can feed the experience to whoever you want, which is also great. This should be fine. Yeah, I see this working. I'll let her get another kill. Gotta be careful, I want to make sure there's enough experience on the table for Longku to get past. And for Henry to attack 4 times. I think I'll actually give Longku this kill here. Moving on to the convoy though. So I should be able to kill the bronze sword. Yeah, conserve weapon charges. Alright, this will hopefully get him past. No, he's actually not really that close either. Okay, so I have to let Longku pick up a few more kills here if I want to get him past. Which I very much do. It's going to be very useful in the next chapter. I could even theoretically... Yes. As long as I don't proc lethality here, I can actually get multiple rounds of combat off this guy. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to heal this guy. But that's good because it allowed me to get chip experience from attacking. Oh, this guy doesn't have Vantage, does he? I can just kill him. Yeah. Alright, will that be enough? Yes, actually just barely. That's perfect. Okay, so we got pass for the next chapter. Bad level up, but that's fine. What skill would we get rid of? Honestly, I almost never use Vantage. So let's get rid of that. Does this guy have counter? No, but I don't think Henry can fight him. So we're gonna have to wait. Henry's gonna have to fight on the last turn. which is probably this turn. So we're gonna go like this. Beautifully done. Yeah, because now Henry can attack the Griffin, who has low resistance. If I get a Lisa dual strike here, it's fine. Actually, I would rather do this. Nice. Getting levels off chip experience. Hey, Bush Ranger. Hey, X, welcome to the stream. Hey, Skywing. I think I noticed you talking in chat earlier, but I didn't say anything. I'm sorry about that. You guys know how I am. Alright. So, if Lisa lands a hit here, a dual strike here, which she does. Okay, so they fought together 5 times, so they should get plus 3 points, which means they should only be 2 points away from getting the S support and unlocking the Owain Paralog, which we can hopefully get in the next chapter. Next up, can Noe get this kill? Oh, don't separate. I need to rally speed for her to make it safe. I can do that though. It'd also be nice if she could stand next to Saria. Problem is if I do, well... Yeah, no, this is fine. There you go. If this doesn't kill, I have other characters who can run in and pick it up. This would be a great time to get some Lance experience. Is there anyone who's holding a cheap Lance that she can use? A Steel Lance? Can she use a Steel Lance? I don't think she can. I don't want to waste a Beast Killer here. Alright, at the risk of not messing things up, I'll just use my Steel Axe. If we didn't get that dual strike, I was just going to give the kill to Lucina. Wonderfully done. I did not expect that to go so smoothly.
Thank you.
You missed all of Walhart. Yeah, we got it done in like, I think it was less than an hour. I wonder what items are in this shop. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, Ruin Tome, Nosferatu, and the Arc Thunder Tome, which is pretty important. So Tiki should be here. Yeah, I just don't really think Tiki is that useful. Her stats are, like, they seem good, like, in a vacuum, but if you compare her to my actually trained units, they're actually not that good. She's got, like, 18 less speed. Even with the bonus from the Dragonstone, she doesn't have as much magic as Saria has. She doesn't have as much strength as Saria has magic. Like, her defense and her speed are not that amazing. I mean, her defense is actually kind of good. I'd say her defense is probably the best thing about her. But her magic's not that good. Her res is good too, though. But the speed is a problem. You would need to give her a speed pair up, and the problem is she doesn't have any pair up options. She pairs up with Robin. Well, I guess okay. I will notice one interesting thing is that she pairs up well with Sayri, who is a speed pair up. So if you pair Tiki and Sayri together, I could kind of see that working. But then they don't support anyone else. So again, you just run into the same problem where you're not building like a support chain. Like Saria and Robin are married, but they also both support with Noe. And Robin supports with Lonku, and they all support with Lonku. Like this is a 4 square. Tiki and Sayri is nothing. This is just 2. Like, they only pair with each other, and then Robin. You can use Anna. Lucina. Compare with Noe. I mean, 37 strength without the Dragonstone versus 34 strength with the Dragonstone. She is faster. You basically have to get, I mean, the thing is, she doesn't really compete with Noe. Noe, they're the same class, but they're different builds. Like, Noe joins way earlier in the game, and you train her against much weaker units. So even though Noe is weaker, it's easier to train her because she's training against weaker units. And her 1-2 range is pretty useful because a lot of enemies at that point in the game don't have 2-range weapons, so you can just snipe them with Noe to get chip experience. Problem with Tiki is when she joins, the enemy quality is extremely high, and most enemies have 1-2 range. So the Dragonstone, even if you use it to chip enemies at 2 range, they still hit you back. The problem with Manichates and Tagwells is that because the stones give them most of their stats, reclassing makes them much worse. The problem is that you don't have an option, yeah, because you can't leave them in this class forever, but you also, if you reclass them, they get reset to an E rank weapon, and then they lose their stone bonuses. They do still have decent stats after reclassing because they start with very high, they have very high growths. Both of them do. Tiki has, Noe has insane growths, but Pan's growths are also very good. But it doesn't help that much. It makes them better than Donal, but they have the same problem as Donal, which is that, you know, you have to reclass them through some stuff that's hard to train out of. All right, let me pull up the tier list on my other computer, the one that I actually use for streaming. This one's just annoying because I don't use Reddit on this one. I don't use this for anything other than streaming normally. So I go to our Fire Emblem, which means it's like not configured. Like it just doesn't look the way that I like Reddit to look. All right, let me find this stupid tier list now, and then we'll talk about it. It's not stupid, by the way. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they rated Donal in F tier. I mean, I believe that Donal is F tier, but it's classically been my experience that people way overrate Donal, and I don't think I'm like that popular or influential enough that my opinion would be like affecting tier lists. So I'm assuming I was just wrong, and people generally do understand that Donal is bad. It's just a vocal minority that talks about Donal a lot and overhypes him. All right. Let me go to my YouTube folder. Alright, I should be able to open this up in Streamlabs now. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, but this time it's actually going to work. You guys are going to see some fireworks show up on screen, and I can see them, so I'm confirming that that's working. And then I'm going to change that image. I'm going to go to my YouTube folder, and I'll change it to the tier list. There you go. Okay, here's the list. So they have Frederick and Robin in the S tier. I obviously agree with that. I think Lisa should be up there as well. I think she's as good, if not better, than all of those units. Olivia, A tier's probably fine. Dancer utility is always great, like in every Fire Emblem, but it's less important in this game because you can use Galeforce, you can use Rescue Stabs to kind of like replicate the utility that Dancer would be giving you. And with enemy quality and enemy density being so high in this game, it can be tricky to keep Olivia alive. So I could see her not being S tier, despite the fact that Dancer is typically S tier. It's interesting that they have Cordelia ranked above Sumia. That's bizarre to me. I mean, yes, you get Cordelia without needing to train her, but their difference in speed is notable, and speed is the most important stat in this game by a wide margin. The more I play this game, the more I feel that speed is like so important. Like it makes or breaks characters. Like characters, you need speed to be a good character in this game. And the fact that Sumia has more speed than Cordelia just outright makes her a better unit, especially because both of them are a pain to train. So it's like people act like training Cordelia is so much easier than training Sumia, and that's just not true. They're like roughly equal. If anything, training Cordelia is harder because she's slower. Vake A tier seems fine. Crom A tier seems fine. They got other staff users in the A tier. Once again, I think Lisa, Anna, and Libra should all be in S tier. Let's see. Maribel should also be ranked pretty high too. A tier, if not S tier. Should I just go through everything, or should I just mention the stuff that stands out? Olerin says, you think Sumia is better than Cordelia earlier and faster? Yeah, I mean, she's better in the short term and the long term. I don't understand why people would think Cordelia is better. I mean, there's like a... If you don't train Sumia at all, there's like a brief moment in time, like when Cordelia first joins, where she's better than Sumia. But other than that, it's like they're pretty much anything. Yeah, Maribel not being an A tier is very confusing, because she's the same as the other staff users. In fact, she's Lisa, but on a horse. I mean, she joins later, obviously, but that's not that big of a deal on staff users, because they just get free experience. Dual Strike Man can't pair up with Cordelia. Yeah, that's another really big problem with her. Most people hate how bad Sumia's combat is at level 1 in Lunatic. I mean, you just train her. There's like 80% of the characters on this list need to be trained in some way or other. Tricky says this is Lunatic, not Lunatic Plus. I mean, my point about speeds, I feel it still holds true. I still think speed is the most important stat. You usually train Cordelia with staffs as a falcon. I mean, yeah, you can do that with Sumia too, though. It's the same thing. Kellum seems high. Where did they put him? B tier? I mean, B tier is fine. Let me look at something really quick. I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me bring up Cern's Forest. I don't by the way, I need to say this. I don't really consider myself to be like an expert at anything. I did just notice that Basilio is in C tier though, which is like really, really bad and really stupid. Basilio is incredible. He's basically, if you didn't train a character with rally strength to kill Grima at the end of the game, you just get Basilio for free, and you can use him to use rally strength in order to allow you to kill Grima. It's literally like, you know how like in Conquest you have to plan your entire playthrough around making sure that you can kill Takumi at the end? Imagine if at the very end of the game they gave you a character who just allowed you to enable your best unit to kill Takumi. That's what Basilio is. Like he literally, it is impossible to softlock yourself in Fire Emblem Awakening, and Basilio is the main reason why. Because even if you get to the end of the game, if your team is too weak to kill Grima, you can just use Basilio to rally strength on somebody, and then have them hit the enemy with a brave weapon 4 times for +4 damage per hit. Okay, let me go to growth rates. Base growths. I'm gonna look at Kellum really quick. Yeah, Kellum is actually not that slow. Kellum is not that slow at all. No, I'm wrong, actually. He's tied with Frederick. It's just that growths in general are high. Yeah, him and Frederick have similar speed, and I think Frederick usually turns out pretty slow, so Kellum's probably kind of slow. Honestly, though, like having access to Trickster and War Cleric is kind of good. Defense is also very good. Defense is like probably one of the best stats along with speed, and Kellum's really good at defense. I also mentioned how having a general is actually pretty useful on Lunatic Plus, and to a lesser extent Lunatic. I don't know if I would really go out of my way to train Kellum. I never really have. I never really tend to use him in the long term, but honestly in the short term his pair up is very good. He can help you get through chapters 3 basically as soon as he joins. Chapter 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chapter 8's not hard. But there's like so many chapters where Kellum can be useful, even if you don't train him, if you just leave him as like a base level Kellum, just because his pair up is so good. So yeah, I disagree with B tier. But I don't know, I mean, we're probably ranking things differently. Like, for the people who made this tier list, they might be thinking like, oh, a good pair-up, like a good early game pair-up is just B tier. But for me, a good early game pair-up is like at least A tier, because your early game is so difficult and pair-ups are so valuable. Duke Nuka usually pairs Sumia with Fred. Yeah, I think Sumia Fred is very powerful. I'm using that for my Iron Man route. Priest Kellen is crazy. Yeah, 20 levels of staff experience. You're mad that, Pika Boy, you're mad that Noe is in D tier. Honestly, I don't really disagree with Noe being pretty bad. I like using her because she's just a character that I like and I enjoy using her, but I don't think she's very good. I think Virion's better than her. I think Gaius is better than her. I think Henry's better than her. So she's at least in the same tier as them. Who else did they put at the bottom? Oh, okay, yeah, Donald's in the bottom by himself. I agree with that. So yeah, the D tier, if I would change anything about the D tier, I would probably move Henry up. I would move Basilio up for sure. Flavia, maybe. I'd probably move Tiki down to D tier, but that's coming from the experience of somebody who doesn't really use her. So it could be people who have used her have had better experience. Rickon, I would probably move up, but that's based on very recent, very personal experience. I'm finding Rickon is very helpful in the Iron Man, which means he's probably very good outside of Iron Man context. It's just we've never really thought to use him before because he's slow. Stall is probably better than C tier. Lonku is definitely better than B tier. That's a crazy placement for Lonku. Muriel, I don't know. She might be A tier, but if you say she's B tier, I probably wouldn't argue with it. Pan's probably weaker. Pan's probably C tier. Gregor, B tier is probably fine. Lucina, kind of tricky. Lucina's weird. Lucina's so weird. We've kind of seen it already in this playthrough. The weird thing about Lucina is that she's very weak, but if you train her, she'll be stronger than anyone else. Lucina is like what people imagine Donald is. Like, people think Donald is this character who starts off weak but then you train him and then he becomes like the most broken character in the game, and that's just like not true. Like that's actually like what Lucina is. Like when Lucina joins, she's usually kind of crappy, but she's not so crappy that she's incapable of fighting. You can actually train her, and if you do train her, she actually becomes like the strongest character because she can do things that nobody else can do, other than the other Gen 2 units. But the other Gen 2 units require more effort to get. So yeah, I don't know. B tier. It's just hard to rank Lucina, honestly. I would honestly rank the Gen 2 units in a separate tier list from the Gen 1 units because they play through a completely different meta. I think Sully is better than Stall, but I don't know if they're in different tiers. I think they might both be B tier. Church, I might move up. Sumia, I would definitely move up. Lucina is weird. It depends on the parents, you think. Wellington thinks that Rickon is equal to Muriel. I don't know. Rickon and Muriel actually fill very different roles, so it's very difficult for me to compare them 1v1. I think Muriel's probably better long term, but Rickon is more useful as a low investment unit because he joins with D rank in tomes and a higher magic stat. So if you just need him to one-shot enemies, and if you just need him to boost your magic on your other characters, like with a pair-up, Rickon's better. But if you need someone who's going to be good long-term, without a doubt, Muriel's better. Theo says they advocated for a separate tier list. Yeah, I honestly think for Awakening, the child units need to be tiered separately because they just play on a completely different meta. Every single child unit has the same problem. They join weak, but then they can eventually become stronger than any Gen 1 unit. Other than Robin, although arguably a lot of them can run builds that are stronger than Robin builds, even. Yeah, I also like Rickon's instant D-tome. With Elwind, of course, but just in general. Instant access to D-tomes, because it means he trains to... You also get like the bonus of D-rank tomes, and you also get to C-rank sooner, so you get the C-rank bonus sooner. You get the B-rank bonus sooner. He starts at a higher level, so it's less effort to get him to level 10. Because the real goal with Rickon and Muriel is getting them to level 10 and promoting them to Sage. So the fact that he starts at a higher level, it actually plays to his advantage because he's closer to promoting. Let me confirm that. I'm pretty sure he starts at a higher level. Muriel joins at level 1. Rickon joins at, where is he? Level 3, yeah. So he requires basically 199 less experience than Muriel does, which is kind of a lot when you're budgeting early game Lunatic Plus experience. I don't think Frederick is that much better than Robin and Lisa, that he requires his own tier. I disagree with that. I think, especially when you consider his long-term prospects, he does not impress me in the long term. So as good as his early game is, I think Frederick's a little bit overhyped. I think he's S tier, but he's still overhyped because people act like he's just like in this tier of his own when he's really not. He's just like a good S tier unit. Honestly, Awakening in general is just overall pretty balanced. It's why a lot of my placements, like a lot of my suggested corrections, are mostly moving like the characters, like the S tier and the A tier would become more populated, and the overall balance curve would be a lot smoother. There's just like a lot of good units in this game. They just have to be used in different ways. Skywing says the unit character can be in different tiers depending on what build you use them on. Yeah, I mean that basically just ends up being a different discussion. If we're tiering like which builds are better than other builds, you know, that would be like a different tier list. But if you just look at the characters in general, if you think of like how good they are like instantly, like how much value they provide to you immediately, and how much potential they have in the long term, you can still tier the characters against each other. I just think with the Gen 2 units, it's different. You can't. They just have different ways, so many different considerations. Tricky says the tier list is actually ordered, so based on this metric, Stall is actually at the top of the C tier. I understand. Yeah, well then Longku should definitely move up. If he's even in the B tier, he's at the top of the B tier. But I in my opinion, he's in the A tier. I mean, yeah. I didn't have any trouble training him, and he's become basically one of the best units in my army, if not the best unit in my army. Obviously, you know, he follows the same rule as every other unit, where if you invest enough experience and effort into him, he'll eventually be good. But I'm training an entire team of 14 units. It's not like I'm super investing into Longku and then saying like, oh, he's so great because I super invested into him. I literally just trained 14 units, and among those 14 units, he just happens to be one of the best ones, including like comparing him against Gen 2 units. Although Lucina and Cynthia are going to overtake him because of Galeforce power. Hey Luminary, welcome to the stream. You'd have to individually rate every single parent-child combination. That would be a massive tier list. The first 4 units got the highest ratings. Lisa should probably be an S. Yeah, you have Lisa's, like I said, she's just as good as Frederick and Robin, and in my opinion, I think she's better. Awakening growths are so high that Fred's low growths actually aren't that low. Yeah, that's true. And yes, that's another good point. You know, honestly, I want to save that for my Donald video. The inverse is true for Donald. Like, Donald's inflated growths aren't even that impressive because every character in this game has high growths. So, like, you know, it doesn't even matter. And his growths aren't even that high, by the way. Fred was almost all S tier votes. Robin was over half S tier votes. Frederick is great, but he's no Seth or Titania. I mean, I think he is mandatory for the early game, but he just, unlike Seth, he just falls off eventually, whereas Seth continues to dominate for the entire game. Anyway, we've talked about the tier list. I don't need to talk about it any longer. I don't particularly have anything else I wanted to do today. I guess we'll just keep this as a relatively short stream, 2 to 3 hours, that's fine. I'm probably just going to go play some Uma Musume now. I'm not going to stream it though, unfortunately. Let me post a link for the Discord though while I'm here. Let's see, I should have it right here available. Oh, I don't know what just happened. There you go. Yeah, I do think Frederick is a better unit than Seth because he's more essential in his game. Like Seth dominates the weak units in FE8 more, but that's not something you like. You don't need a character in FE8 to dominate like those weak units. You can use any character for that. You can use Garcia for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can literally use anybody. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for chatting. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks to any new person who came by today. I'm glad that you came here. And the lurkers, we love the lurkers here. If you enjoyed what you saw, you can subscribe to the channel. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see if I can give you guys a redirect. If anybody else is streaming Fire Emblem today. Let's see. I'm trying to remember to do this whenever I can. The only thing I ask is that you guys just behave. Because if you're getting sent there from my stream and then you go over there and you act like crazy people, it reflects poorly on me. Davis G is streaming. They were actually streaming last week too, but Danny was streaming at the same time. I redirected to Danny. Since Davis G is the only person streaming, and since I did not direct to them last time, I will redirect to them. So they're doing Maniac Mode. Oh, they're trying to beat Maniac Mode Iron Man. Okay, I think, if I'm not mistaken, nobody has beaten Maniac Mode Iron Man yet. I'm pretty sure it still has not been beaten before, so that should be fun. I've never watched Davis G's streams before, so I'm just assuming they're playing Fire Emblem. It's probably worth watching, so go check it out. Let me make sure I have that locked in. Alright. I'm going to get some lunch, and then I'm going to play some Uma Musume. I recommend you guys get some exercise, drink some water, but for now, enjoy the rest of your day.